Marek, this one is for you. Oh no! I am absolutely fuming! Is going in. Well, today is Monday. On Thursday, the insignia is going because the clutch has died on the car, and I have tried everywhere that I could possibly think of. I went to 7 different garages to get a clutch for this car, and because of today's society issues with pirates on the seas and shipping issues, there is no clutch for this car in the UK. There's no full clutch kit that I can order. And some of you guys may say, well, you could just order it yourself off eBay and do it yourself. If you guys haven't watched the channel for the last 4 weeks, maybe more, then you guys will know that I've been suffering with back issues and health issues at the moment, and I'm still suffering with them, and I'm still waiting for scans to sort my problems out, and I'm still on painkillers to sort myself out. I cannot change the clutch on the car myself. It annoys me because 2 years ago I had, as you guys know, the clutch changed, and that cost me £1,000 back then. If I was to get it done now, I'd have to wait 6, maybe 7 or more weeks for the clutch to come in and pay £2,000 to get it done. You guys will also know that I've got a little boy. The DS4 is not in the greatest of shape, and the Vectra is currently off the road for a long time till I get it fixed. And I heavily relied on my car, and unfortunately she's let me down. It was out of the blue. I was driving to work, everything was fine, didn't notice anything wrong with it. I have complained of a vibration on the clutch for several weeks now, and haven't had any slippage on the clutch, no issues with the pedal other than just feeling a vibration from time to time, which when the engine was warm it was fine. And on Wednesday last week the clutch gave up on me. I pulled up at a traffic light, put the clutch down, and the clutch stayed on the floor. No clutch, straight to the floor. I managed to limp it to work. I got it recovered by my recovery to my local garage here in Ellesmere, and they couldn't get a clutch for it, so I've asked them to phone several people. I've phoned several people as well, different companies including Vauxhall themselves. I've looked on the likes of Euros, I've looked at General Traffic. Everywhere is out of stock, but nobody can get parts from anything other third party that they would be able to warrant me with. It sounds like it's just the slave cylinders burst, but that could mean that the clutch is contaminated. It's about a 9-hour job to do at a garage, so for me to do it, it's going to be impossible, especially with the lack of tools that I have, but also the lack of time that I have to do it. So unfortunately, for that reason alone, I was stuck in an impossible situation. I could have ended up buying a cheap nasty banger to get me round, but would have had to deal with its issues. I know that the DS4 is suffering with issues at the minute, which in the next video we'll be sorting. So what I've had to do, regrettably, is part exchange my car in for another car. The problem I have there is it's getting picked up on Thursday to be taken to the dealer so that I can pick up my new car on Thursday. And because I owe finance on this car still, it's going to cost me a lot more in payments than I am paying now for this new car for another 5-year term. I am absolutely gutted, and I'm fuming that this is having to happen now. And with the current situation, with the prices of parts, the lack of availability in parts, I am absolutely gutted because I didn't want to lose the car now. In fact, Sarah wanted this car because she loves driving it too, and I adore driving it too. The only problem I have with this car is because of my health and my back problems at the moment, I need something higher up. So you'll be waiting for that video, guys, of when that car comes along. I'm uncertain into what the Vectra situation is going to be. I booked an entire week off to sort bits on it. That might have to be postponed because of this issue, which again I'm gutted about. But because I've had to spend so much money, and I'm going to have to be spending continuously every month a lot more money to afford this new car, because of the situation I'm in, this was the only outcome I could do, and that's tough. But life goes on, and hopefully, I mean, with this new car, I can't tell you what it is yet. I've took out an extended guarantee on the car because this had issues when I got it. For the first 2 years, I had to have the chain replaced, and I had to have a recall, which was done free anyway, but I also had to have the clutch done because it failed on me. That was down to my own fault, I admit, but a warranty would cover me for if in this new car circumstance had this issue, it would cover me if it was faulty, which is good peace of mind for me and my family. So we're left with no choice but to fix the DS4 and carry on as we are with the new car, which means regrettably the Insignia is going. After 3 and a bit years, it's been good. I've put admittedly a lot of mileage on this car since I bought it or got it on the 21st of May 21, something like that, or the 18th of May 21, and I am devastated, absolutely devastated. There's going to be tons of people in the comments, I know, saying, well, just go on eBay, get a second-hand clutch, wait for one to come from Lithuania, or go to GSF. I've tried them, guys. I cannot do the job myself. It has to be done at a garage, and even if I got the parts myself and supplied them to the garage to do, I wouldn't get warranty for it. So if I spent £2,000 on a new clutch and it was to go within 1,000 miles or 2 miles down the road even, I will not be covered, and I'd lose all my money that I've just spent on it, and I can't risk that. I can't afford that. I can't even afford to get the clutch done anyways because I haven't been paid yet, but also we've got bills coming out. It's coming at really bad time. But I would have, if a clutch was available, I would have made it work, even if I had to borrow money to do it. But because of the situation I'm currently in, and I've had to take days off to sort my health out as well, which doesn't help, this is the only outcome that would work for us, and I'd just have to face the music on this. But I'm absolutely gutted. So regrettably, this is going to be the last video I ever do on the Insignia. Like I said, and I've said it again, I am absolutely gutted because the car is immaculate. I love it. And although I suffer with my back issues, it's worth it because I know this car does well with its fuel. So this is a sorrowful time for me, and I am really, really gutted that I'm having to let her go. The plates are going to have to come off. They're already on retention. The wind deflectors are coming off. I'm going to have to see if I can sell them. The new car does not come with a spare wheel, so the spare wheel's coming out of this car. That is not going to fit on the new car, which you guys will see, so I'm going to have to sell that too. I'm just lost for words. If I haven't already shown you the video of me driving this back from the garage, because I've had to park it here at the house. You guys will notice that the clutch is on the floor. I've not been to this car for at least 4 days now, possibly. And as you can see, this is the first time I'm getting in the car. The clutch is on the floor. I'm curious, actually, if the brake reservoir is empty. Last time I checked it, it was half full. It still has power steering and it still has brakes, so I assume it's got some. We're going to have a look now. Yeah, it's low, but it isn't empty. There is no obvious leaks that I can see. There is a faint smell of brake fluid, but I can't see because I can't bend really well. But if you guys can see any fluid on the floor, I can't. You know, I'm gutted. I've just had the radiator serviced, I've just had the engine serviced, I've just had it MOT'd, you know, and I've put a bit of work into it to get it in tip-top shape for that MOT, and that's what's biting me now, is the fact that the car is no longer drivable and it needs money spending on it that I haven't got at the moment. I am really gutted. But such is life at this moment. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't fix it myself, and the garages can't fix it either, nor can the main dealer fix it either. It'd have to wait for weeks and weeks and weeks. We've got one car which is temperamental at the minute. It's just not viable, sadly. I'm so gutted that I'm having to do this. So gutted. But there's nothing I can do. Absolutely gutted. And I love the car, so I'm heartbroken. I love the colour. She's on what's she on? 93,400 miles exact. 93,400 miles exact. And that's what annoys me the most. I spent money 2 years ago to get the clutch done, and that was about 60,000 miles. So 30,000 miles down the line, the clutch is now out of warranty. It's 2 years, it's a year out of warranty, the clutch and the mileage as well, because I think it only covers you for 10,000 miles or something. So I'm gutted. I'm lost for words, really am. And that, again, because I've been keeping up to date with everything the car needs. I've spent money on the car to keep it in its condition. New tyres, sorting the brakes out, sorting the chain, sorting the servicing. I service this car religiously, usually every 6 months. On the last service I stretched it out because I just moved into a new house, and I've tried my best to keep the car in good condition considering the mileage I've been putting on it. I haven't been treating it hard, I've driven it responsibly. I even had to spend out on a new windscreen because that cracked because of an Asda van, if you guys remember. There's nothing else to say. So all I can do now is empty the car from all my personal belongings, because it's going on Thursday. Take off the window deflectors. As you can see, the unit's open with a Vectra looking very sorry for itself. The spare wheel's going to have to go in there. The plates are coming off. The originals have to go back on it, which I've got with me. It's not great. Not great. Thus we shall go into the boot of the problematic DS4 at the minute. Excuse the mess. But let's move all this out of the way a minute. Here are the original plates, which I'm glad I kept, actually, because that would have cost me more, because I've got to put it back to how it was. I mean, the beauty with finance on a car, at least, is if you did upgrade it and changed it for something else, it is possible, it's doable. There's one other thing with this car as well. The car's worth about 8 grand as it sits right now, or 7.5 even. I owe 4 on it. and because the clutch is £2,000, they've added that on as well. So I've ended up being, with other things as well included, I've got £2,000 negative equity on the car. So that has had to be added on to my next car, which has also affected the price. So I am basically paying nearer double than what I'm paying on this at the minute, which I'm sure I'll mention to you guys in a closer time. Well, after I've got the car, of course. The new car suits my needs, it suits Sarah's needs as well, and we love that new car as well. But we are gutted that we're having to replace it, we're having to get that car in replacement of this car. We would have much preferred replacing this car for the new car we're getting rather than the Insignia. So without no further ado, this pains me to do it and I'm so sorry. But off come my plates. I hope I got that on video. It just proves you can spend so much money keeping a car in good nick and look after it as best as you possibly can, but unfortunately it's never good enough. Ever since COVID, cars just aren't the same, and what's sad is that the newer cars out there, some of them are quite nice, nobody looks after them. They treat them like cars, and of course if you go to buy one second hand, they're actually trashed. Now I've saved this plate luckily, so I can reuse this, thankfully. That's good. Now I need to find the screws to put the original plates back on. Now thankfully for the next part, which is taking off the wind deflectors, I can just open the windows like so. I need to take the car seat out. Just going to dump that in the other car for now. Now with a bit of luck, because it is hot today, I should be able to take these off. So now that's done, I think the next step is emptying the car, but what I'm probably going to do is put most of my stuff in the unit in the Vectra's boot. That way I know it's at least somewhat watertight. So these plates are going to come with me. I think for now I'm going to put them on the back seat where the wind deflectors are, which they'll be going in the unit too, because they won't fit in the Vectra, which I thought about, but that's not going to work, I don't think. So some of this can actually go in the other car. So I'm not going to show you everything of that, so let me just get on with it for a little bit and I'll cut back in a second. Right, I've turned the aircon on the car. Even though the doors are open, I don't care, because when the car died, I not long put 50 quid's worth of diesel in. Now many... Ooh, calm that down a minute. Now many would say that is selfish, because I've done that. Steering's feeling a bit weird now, but the brakes are too. No, they're still there. I can smell brake fluid, so I know that clutch is contaminated, but as you can see, got 3/4 of a tank. So yes, I am using the aircon, one to keep myself cool, but also to run the engine because it's been sat here for a little bit now, for a quick minute. I can hear a whine outside. As you can see, I've emptied the car. I've took my dash cam, everything's empty. That's the wheel, lock and wheel nut. If anything, be grateful I'm going to leave you at least half a tank by the end of this. It needs a clean in here, so I'm going to quickly go over it with a hoover because I don't want bad first impressions when somebody looks at this car, because she's a beaut. She is. I've got the reg plates there which I'm going to attach. Everything's empty, so that's my next job now, is to add the plates on. I'll just quickly walk over here into the unit. I've took out the spare wheel that I bought for the car. I've still got the repair kit, so I've left that in the car, but when I got the car it didn't come with wind deflectors, the mat, or this space saver. I bought that separately. So plus the tools there actually as well. Carpets are in the boot. Everything I've emptied is in the Vectra, where at least it's somewhat dry, so at least I'll be able to recoup something there. The dealer, by the way, before you ask, is already aware of this. In fact, the guy I bought the Insignia from is the guy I bought another car with, because he sorted me out with that really well. So he sorted me out with this situation. I know him quite well, and his family too, so he's helping me out. God bless him. Yeah, so I'll get those plates on now, and then I'll talk to you in a second. So as we walk back up here, we're going to put the plates back on in 3, 2, 1, now. And there we are, original plates back on, car emptied. Just needs a clean, but I'll do that off camera. So as you guys will be able to see, the car's on. I've had to lift the clutch pedal up, but if I try push it down, it stays to the floor. Completely gone. So that's all she wrote, I think. Gutted. Was doing good mileage at the time too. When did I fill up? 93 miles ago I filled her up. 93 miles and I did 1/4 of a tank. Gutted. You know, and I've serviced this car quite a lot, kept her clean. She runs great, listen. So I'm absolutely gutted that this is having to go. I mean, I was looking at getting another car anyways, you know. I was looking just to see what my options were, you know, and we were going to go and change the car for well, Sarah's car again, for something that's a bit higher up, and then she would be able to take over this car. But no, it's heartbreaking for me because I didn't want to get rid of it and I didn't want to see it go. I wanted it to go to Sarah for her to use, but all good things must come to an end, I suppose. I've still got the Vectra at the minute. I don't know if I'm going to continue with it or to keep going. We'll soon see. I'll have to see how the next few weeks go. But yeah, I don't know when this video will come out. As I did say, I was going to have a little short break of making videos and trying to get content ready. Well, that happened, I suppose. In fact, the breakdown happened 2 days after I recorded that video, sadly. Couldn't believe it. So the car currently doesn't go into gear. The only way of going into gear is if I maybe rev match or I turn the car off and I start it in gear. That's the only way I can really move this car. But that's it, I guess. So lost for words, guys, as you can tell. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, which would be quite ironic, then please leave a like and subscribe. If you can't wait to see what I get next, which will be in an upcoming video, then again, stay tuned. And until next time, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, better than mine at least, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and stay safe.